Campaign 2018 is underway, and in Calvert County, the race for 5 county commissioner seats is quite competitive this year. In District 2, Susie Hance-Wells, a Democrat, is one of the candidates running. Susie, good to have you with us today. Tell our viewers a little bit about yourself.
Okay, thank you, Marty, for giving me this opportunity. I was born and raised in Calvert County, and after college, came back to the farm and became the 8th generation to take over our family farm. We raised tobacco and grain and livestock, and I enjoyed working with the agricultural community. Immediately when I returned home, I became involved at the county level, working within the community as well as the local county government. I served on the Calvert County Planning Commission. I served as the founding board for the Calvert County Agriculture Preservation Program. I also became chairman of the Board of Appeals, worked in many boards and commissions along the way for the county, enjoyed help planning the future of Calvert County. I married a local farmer and volunteer fire department personnel, and had 3 children, and now I have 9 grandchildren. I also served as a 4-H livestock club leader. I managed the shows and the barns at the county fair level. I also worked with the Red Cross and the swimming program that they had. And I served as an elected director for the Colonial Farm Credit Bank Board, which operates out of Mechanicsville, Virginia. And I served as a director on the Southern States Corporate Board in Richmond, Virginia.
So what went into your decision to run for county commissioner?
I had been asked many times to run for county commissioner because I was so active in Calvert County and the workings of the zoning department. And I'd always declined because I felt that I was more effective lobbying in front of the legislators for different issues for agriculture and tax reform and land use decisions. But about 2.5 years ago, I noticed a change in the Calvert County government, in that we weren't abiding by the comprehensive plan that we worked so hard on. And I felt that we were going in the wrong direction. And I felt the only way that I could be effectual now is to actually be in a position to make those decisions.
So growth again seems to be the top issue in Calvert County. Where do you stand on the issue of growth management?
I believe in responsible and planned growth. I think every jurisdiction needs to grow, or you stagnate and you can't continue to thrive that way. But managing that growth and making it sustainable and making it so that the roads and the schools and the public services are there to provide that additional growth without compromising the citizens that are in Calvert County now is a very important issue.
Is county government doing everything possible to facilitate the success of the public school system, and has enough done to make the schools safer?
This is a difficult issue because the Board of Education determines how the money is spent. But I think because the money comes from the county, there can be discussions between the Board of County Commissioners and the Board of Education to channel some of those funds in appropriate ways. I think the contracts for the teachers need to be honored. I think that's very important. I think teachers are essential. Quality teachers are essential for quality education. They need the opportunity for advancement. They need opportunity for being able to advance in their education opportunities. School safety has become a big issue. But we have issues of bullying and drugs in schools now and behavior of the children. And I think we have to, we can work with the Sheriff's Department, we can work with public safety in immediate fixes. But in the long term, which is what's really important, is to get at the root of the behavior that's causing these problems. And I think we have to start early in our educational system.
A majority of the current board voted 3 years ago to raise property and income tax rates. With the money from Dominion now coming in, is it time to roll the rates back?
As a farmer, I'm very conservative where fiscal spending is concerned. On a farm, you never know from one year to the next how much money you're going to make. And it's very similar to a county situation. You never know when you have to spend additional funds for disaster relief, for school safety, or a number of issues. I believe that debt management is important. I believe that we need to keep our taxes at a low rate as much as possible and still be able to provide the services. I think that currently the spending has been over that amount. We've spent money that we don't have. We've requested bonding authority for $50 million. And can we afford the debt service on that $50 million? So I would go over the budget. I think there's a lot of things that can be cut. I think there are a lot of more ways to operate the government more efficiently that would keep us from raising those taxes. And with Dominion monies coming online, I think that gives us an opportunity to do that, as well as offering incentives for increased commercial growth in the county, which will help our tax revenues.
I don't want to assume that you're of the mind that there's going to be an end to this Dominion money somewhere down the road, and we should probably budget it in such a way that we know that it's something that's going to eventually go away.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I feel that we need to consider the Dominion money more as a bonus, and that we try to use it effectively while we have it in place. I also feel that if ever there's another renegotiation of that contract, that we do need to go outside of the county and hire a professional that does utility contract negotiations. The county attorney can't possibly know all the ins and outs of particular contracts. And I think we may be able to do better as far as that negotiation goes.
The current board has demonstrated a reluctance to facilitate the establishment of the medicinal marijuana industry, those who grow it, those who distribute it. Do you share their reluctance?
This is a difficult issue. There's a very big difference between medicinal marijuana and recreational use. And for medicinal marijuana, it needs to be very heavily controlled. I think there is a place for it. I've done a lot of reading on this, and there are different situations where it can be a great use, just like any alternative medicines have become. I believe it has to be regulated. I am not in favor of recreational marijuana use. I think that's a gateway drug. Here, we farmers had tobacco, and the states looked at it as the golden egg. Mm-hmm. And when that went away, all of a sudden the money went away, and we got ourselves in a difficult position. And I think the same thing could happen if marijuana becomes more widespread use. Plus, I think anything that should be controlled substance. But I do think there is a place for medicinal marijuana.
Susie, is there anything you'd like to say to the voters in Calvert County in closing?
Well, I think that being born and raised here and being involved in the county workings, I have a very good handle on the zoning and how it works and any improvements that would need to be made in that level. I think Calvert County is a very special place, and balance of residential and commercial and industrial and agricultural is very important in the county. Balance in any situation allows us to continue to be productive in a thriving community. And I would ask that if you feel that I will look out for the citizens' best interest in Calvert County, that you consider voting for me in November. Thank you.
Susie Hance-Wells, she's running for County Commissioner in Election District 2. We remind our viewers that Election Day is coming up in November, and there will be early voting prior to that. Please remember to exercise your franchise in 2018. Susie, thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Marty.
And for thebaynet.com, I'm Marty Metz.